From South Padre Island to Rio Grande City, this is NBC 23 News This Weekend.
And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
That was the scene earlier this evening in Butler, Pennsylvania, as Donald Trump appeared to be the target of an assassination attempt as he spoke during a rally. Good evening, Valley, and thank you for joining us on NBC 23 News This Weekend. I'm Frank McCaffrey. Well, the Secret Service says former President Donald Trump is safe after gunshots were heard near his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, just outside Pittsburgh. The local district attorney says the shooter and one person at the rally are dead. Former President Trump was seen with blood on his face. Washington correspondent Vinay Simlat explains.
A searing moment Saturday afternoon. Former President Donald Trump says a bullet pierced his upper ear.
Take a look at what happened.
You can see the moment during the rally. President Trump grabbed his face and ducked. In a post on Truth Social, the former president says he immediately felt the bullet ripping through his skin. Secret Service returned fire, killing the shooter. As Secret Service lifted Trump up, he fist pumped to the crowd. Photos show blood on Trump's face. The former president was rushed to a local hospital. The FBI says it's on the scene in Butler, Pennsylvania, and investigating. The Secret Service says one rally-goer was killed, two others critically injured.
Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick.
President Biden, speaking from Delaware, says he's getting updates on the investigation.
The idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it.
Former President Trump thanked law enforcement and extended his condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed. In Washington, I'm Vinay Simlat.
Thank you so much, Vinay. And we've also received reports from AP sources that law enforcement recovered an AR-style rifle at the scene of the shooting at Donald Trump's rally. Now, the governor, Gov Abbott, took to X.com to post this image with the statement, "Red, white, and blue, legend." It shows a picture of a bloodied Trump today. He later added, had it been less than a half inch to the right, he would not have survived. Trump is truly blessed, the governor says. Also, Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz took some time to talk with us today about the assassination attempt.
Well, our thoughts and prayers go out to President Trump and his family, and I ask that all Valley residents keep him and them in your prayers.
Rep. de la Cruz expressed her outrage over this in the era of political division.
This is completely outrageous and unacceptable. There's no room for that here in the United States. Many families fled political violence in Latin America, and this cannot be tolerated. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle that you're in. We cannot have this type of chaos in America.
And she addressed whether people should be vigilant at future political rallies.
We live right now in a time of unrest. I know that the Trump campaign and all of our staffs, including mine, takes the highest precaution possible when it comes to not only our safety, but the audience safety. These are important times, and we all must be aware of our surroundings.
Wow. Democratic Congressman Vicente Gonzalez, who represents Congressional District 34. By the way, I'm joined by Deborah Bell. She's the GOP chair in Cameron County. We'll explain why in just a moment. But the congressman who represents District 34 gave us a statement. He says, political violence is never the answer. Thank you to the first responders and Secret Service for doing their job and maintaining order. I pray for former President Trump and our country. We must unite against any violence. Also, U.S. Rep. Henry Cuellar of Congressional District 28 tells us, my thoughts and prayers are with former President Donald Trump and his family. Political violence has no place in our country. Thank you to law enforcement personnel and first responders for doing critical work during this difficult time. And as we've already introduced you to, this is the Cameron County GOP Chair, Deborah Bell. Thank you so much for joining us. She came in when we called her after this incident. Now, we are in a time of political division, but even with that division, is this event shocking to you?
Absolutely. You don't expect to see this in American politics by any means. We know what's at stake this presidential year, and we know the momentum behind President Trump has electrified voter bases and energized Americans all over, and it is so very sad to see an attempt to silence a particular voter base.
Okay. Now, what impact does it have on next week's convention?
Nothing. I don't think it has a single bit of an impact at all. I think folks are going to be extremely energized and even more unified to elect President Trump as our nominee.
All right. Now, does it change the face of political rallies?
I think it's going to cause folks to be more vigilant. I think it's going to cause folks to be a little bit more alert and aware of what's going on around them, but I don't think it's going to deter folks from showing up to rallies.
Okay, yeah, and you know, security, of course, will be very different. You know, we can imagine that we'll be seeing perhaps, I mean, you know, the Pope, they have what they call the Pope-mobile. Maybe we're a few years away from that. Do you think that maybe we'll see security change forever in this country?
I hope not, because one of the beauties of American politics is that you have the freedom to go to whichever rally you want to and safely partake in a rally. And to think that we would have to completely structure and change the way that we do security all because of political violence becoming a norm in America is quite alarming, actually.
It's the times we're in seem to be very distressing in so many ways. You know what? We're going to just go on. We're going to take a quick break here from talking about this Trump apparent assassination attempt, and we're going to move on to the weather. Now, here is a look at your forecast with meteorologist Jim Danner. Fellas.